Knives are cool. And axes too.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Robert Breaker, aka Knives Are Cool and Axes Too. Went garage selling on Saturday, and I found two things that I think might be of interest to you that are pretty cool. Don't have any idea what I got. That's why I'm showing it to you, because I'm hoping maybe you can tell me what this is. I paid $15 for these two knives, and I think that was a pretty good deal. That's $7.50 a piece. But they're nothing special. Part of me thinks I might have gotten a deal. Part of me thinks I might have overpaid because they're not the best made. Honestly, I just bought them to see what I got and hoping you can tell me. So I'm gonna pull out the smaller one that's not so cool first. Then I'm gonna pull out the other one that I think you will think is the coolest thing ever. I mean, this thing in this pocket is really neat. This one, My first thought was made in India. Then I thought, maybe this might be from like Saudi Arabia or Turkey or someplace like that. So I'm looking forward to your thoughts on what you think they are. First one is this. I don't know what this is. Now, when I paid $15, it was an estate sale and the man had passed away. And I guess some of the family said, oh, that's too cheap. What if that's silver? I said, let me assure you, that is not sterling silver. This is not the best looking knife in the world. Look, that even came off, or is that supposed to be there? Yeah, I guess that's supposed to be there. It's not anything special. It's very cheap. They said that the man that passed away, that they were having the estate sale for, had traveled a lot. So my thought was this was probably just a little souvenir that he bought. And it was probably for bloodletting, is what my friends said. I showed it to some of my other friends, and they say, yeah, that looks like some sort of ceremonial bloodletting knife in one of those countries like Saudi Arabia or something like that. So it's kind of cool. It's very sharp here, not very well made, and it is definitely not silver, but it does look like, and here's my thought, tell me what you think, that some sheik, like a sheik from Saudi Arabia or someplace like that, one of those nomads that lives in the desert, he would have had this here. And my thought, this was what they used to dispatch the goats that they were going to eat that evening, and that's why this is so sharp for the jugular. But it's definitely old. It has some patina. Look at all the pits. One of my friends says it almost looked like there was some sort of design there, but I don't think that's any kind of a design. I think that's just pure rust right there going on. So what is this knife? What is it? Where did it come from? What do you know about it that I don't? I would just really like to know more about that knife. And tell me what you think in the comments if you think it is indeed something from like they would have out in the desert around Turkey or Saudi Arabia or something like that. And if it is the ritualistic knife that they used. Did you know sometimes in Islam they do sacrifices of animals? So that was what I thought when I saw this. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But we're going to put that aside for a second. And I'm going to show you this. Hold on a second. Okay. This is how I got it. Are you ready for this? I have no idea what this is. Again, my first thought is maybe it's from India. Maybe it's from Pakistan, but it doesn't say Pakistan. So if it was from Pakistan, they're pretty proud of their stuff. They would have written Pakistan. So then my thought was, this definitely looks like something from Turkey or Saudi Arabia or something like that. I have never seen anything like this before. I don't know what to call it. Do I call it a knife? Do I call it a scythe? Do I call it a sickle? Is it a weapon, or is it an agricultural tool for farming? I have no idea. That's why I'm asking you. Please tell me what this is, okay? Without further ado, here we go. Boom! All right, let's look at it here on the table. And whatever it is, it's not the best craftsmanship, because look how it doesn't fit together perfectly. It's not that well made. Look right in here. Can you see that? How it's not even, it goes like this. It's not perfect, but it's kind of cool. Now this looks like some sort of bone here, and so that, my thought is this some sort of camel bone? Does this thing come from like Saudi Arabia or something? And look on the top here too. I thought that was kind of neat how they put a little design in the blade right there. Does that come in okay? Look right there how they did that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. So we're going to try to open it. It's got this push button here, and you got to be very careful, and you got to push really hard, and out it comes. Now you tell me what that is. If that doesn't look like that was made for the zombie apocalypse, I don't know what it's for. But my thought was, I'm picking this thing up and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, that's a scythe. And man, is it sharp. Boy, is it sharp. I mean, this is super sharp. And so you're going out there and maybe cutting weed or something? Is that what that's for? Is this an agricultural thing? Or is this a weapon? And you go around and you're like, ah, and you're gonna, or is this for, I have no idea what this is. All I know is that it's pretty cool. And because it was so different, I had to get it. So let's zoom in on it and look at it. They attempted, whoever did it, to put a little bit of a design right there. Do you see the little swirl? And then there's little dots here. And it's very, very, very rusted. But does that show up, that design right there? Let's look at the other side and see if we got anything over there. There is kind of what looks like they attempted to put some sort of design. See the little dots here and little... So someone went all out on this. Now let's look at this part and look at all this. Someone put a lot of work into this, the lines, the circles. And then you come back and is it the same on either side? See how it's not perfect? It's not perfect. But you come back and you see this bone area and it has some designs, and look, it has some red on it even. Does that red show up? Yeah, it does. And then they've got the design back here. Now, do you see this little thing sticking out? I had this thing and I showed it to 2 or 3 people and they thought, oh wow, it's cool because it folds up. And then I was showing it to a guy and I go, yeah, but I don't know what that thing does. Is that for like hitting people in the head or something? Ow. And I'm looking at it and all of a sudden I said, well, it looks like it pushes, and I pushed it this way and it folded up again. And I was just like, whoa. So now check that out. Look at that. So whatever this thing is, it's meant to carry in your pocket. So is this India? And this is for guys out in the bush in India for an agricultural tool they carry in their pocket? Is this Saudi Arabia? Is this a nomad tool that they carry? I just think it's amazing. Let's look at this. So first it opens here and it clasps right there. Then, and this is kind of hard to do. I've tried to oil this, but it's very hard. You push this and then it opens up like that. And that looks like, well, it looks like a crane, doesn't it? It looks like the beak of a crane. But what an odd thing, but yet what an amazing thing. Somebody made that and they said, you know, I want it to fold 3 times. And I don't know the reason they wanted it to fold 3 times, except maybe it was to carry in your pocket. Now, how would you like that for an everyday carry? You know, you're walking down the streets of Chicago or New York and some guy comes and you're like, you better back up, man, or I'm gonna defend myself. I mean, that is a weird, all I can say is that is super, super sharp right there. I mean, that is so sharp that this could be an agricultural tool, was my first thought. This would be great for cutting wheat or grass or something. But the more I look at it, the more I think, man, that thing would make an excellent weapon for somebody, someplace. So please, here's your homework. Look this up and see what this is, who made this, and what's it for, because I would love to know more about that. And that was just a fun day of garage sailing to find these 2 items. And again, it was an estate sale, and a man had passed away, but the family said he was well traveled. And I can only imagine that he was able to get these items while he was traveling from place to place. But where did he go? Is this from India? That was my first thought. Or is it more from Pakistan or someplace like that? Same with this one. Where's this from? I'd like to know. So if you find out, then let us know. Please leave in the comments. I'm hoping a lot of people will see this. I'll try to put something like clickbaity on the title, you know, like mystery scythe or mystery sickle garage sale find. Hopefully we'll get more people to see this so more people can comment, and hopefully that one guy out there can say, well, I know what that is. That's from such and such a country. And that's what we'd like to learn. So it's all about learning. It's all about fun, because remember, knives are cool and axes too. And that just has to be one of the coolest things I've found at a garage sale. So if you would zoom back in on it and check back with us next time, because believe it or not, I found 2 knives at a garage sale that I want to show you as well, and we'll show you those next week.
Knives are cool. And axes too.